So some of you may have heard about iOS 14 changes coming to Facebook in 2021 and may have already started seeing some of those effects on your ad account. Essentially, what's happening in 2021 is that iOS 14 is going to prompt any users who update their phone from iOS 13 to iOS 14 if they want to opt in for tracking on apps, including Facebook. And this will give them the opportunity to opt out of being tracked on Facebook once they open the app. That's going to, in effect, stop us from being able to track sales that are coming from ads and in turn change or affect our retargeting campaigns and our top of funnel campaigns if we can't track what's happening with our ads. Facebook has recommended that we do a couple things, and throughout the coming weeks, I'm going to be meeting with Facebook to figure out what we can do for this change and keep updating you accordingly as to what needs to be done. But what they've already come out and said is that we should do a couple of things. The first one being verifying our domain. If you haven't verified your domain yet, this video is going to show you how to do that. And essentially what it does is it lets Facebook know that you are a real advertiser, a brand that should be trusted, and it lets Apple know that as well. And for Facebook to go to Apple and say, hey, listen, this is a verified business, they need proper tracking. Please help us with that. So in order to start verifying your domain, you will have to go to your business.facebook.com settings. And when you get to business settings, so if you're just at business.facebook.com, you would want to go to business settings. And within business settings, you would want to scroll down to brand safety. So typically everything is closed for you when you get here. So you would hit brand safety and you would go to domains. If you already have a domain set up, you would see it in here. But if you don't, it would be great to add it. So I'm actually going to walk through this with one of the accounts that we work on. So in this case, this is the domain of the client that we're working with. And I'm going to add the domain there. And if you haven't done it before, you would also see, you would have to do the same thing there. Now, if I refresh the page, the domain should show up there. So let's see what we're seeing. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So if you have a domain here and it's not verified, you should see the same thing I'm seeing, which is a red dot here showing that your domain is not verified. What we want to do is verify it. So like I said, it gives us more credibility with tracking and with Apple. So there's two ways to verify a domain. You can go through the DNS settings, which is you go to GoDaddy or Namecheap or whoever you've bought your domain with, and you upload a TXT record. The best way to do it if you're on Shopify is to use a meta tag verification. So in this case, we just copy this meta tag here. So, and then in Shopify, you can go to the back end of your Shopify store, go to online store and then themes, and then hit edit code in the code that's currently active. We're going to place this meta tag in the theme liquid file in the header. So right in the header, here you have Google verifications. You can see that. So we can actually make it the first meta tag in the header. But you can also just do it anywhere in the header as long as it's before the /head. So it's in the actual header. And then you can hit save. Now you go back to your business settings and I hit verify here while I was checking that. And it did show that it was verified. So now, like I said, you might have to wait a few minutes. If you click verify right away, it might not do it. So just wait a couple minutes, refresh the page, and then hit verify. And you should see this come up. And now if you hit done and refresh the page again, you would know that it's verified because your website should now have a green button next to it instead of a red button. So now your website is verified, and you can connect your pages to it, and everything else. But that is the first step to mitigating and getting ahead of this iOS 14 update, is to verify your domain and show Facebook and Apple that you are a verified advertiser, a verified business, and that you are legitimate and are using Facebook for the right reasons.